Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. What's up, everybody? Mark here from My Primal Being. First of all, you're probably wondering who in the hell is going to sit here and watch a 25-minute video about a skinny Asian dude doing squats and kettlebell swings. To be honest, to be frank with you, that would be probably someone like me, and this is probably something I would send off to someone to take a look at my form. This is actually about a few days after going up to Super Training Gym and hearing Marc, Silent Mike, and Omar Isa speak on some training principles. What I'm trying to do is play around with some daily undulating periodization. And I haven't quite dug that deep into what all that means. So here what I'm just doing is I'm playing around, mixing up the loads, intensities, variations, sets, rep schemes, grips, weights, etc. to stimulate as much development and growth in every variation of the lifts that I can, at least for the main lifts. So here I am just warming up with some kettlebells. Very easy, just doing sets of 10. If you'll notice, I'm very deliberate and very focused on my form. What I've been doing lately is checking out Mobility Wad and Kelly Starrett's work. He'll mention that you should start off by squeezing your glutes, squeezing your abs, and then screwing your feet into the ground. What I've found is that my right leg and my right glute was actually a ton weaker. So in order to make up for that slack and to try and overpower my really strong left side, that'd be my left glute, my left quad and hamstring, I've done this thing where I turn my feet way out. At least I'll turn my right foot way out, squeeze my right glute, really get that glute med activated really, really hard, and then rotate my right foot back in to make up for that slack. So now I'm here doing some front squats just with the bar. Another issue that I found is that my right lat is smaller and weaker, so I have to really build that up. And besides screwing my feet in hard on the right side, I also have to kind of push myself or push my upper torso and back and squeeze my lat on my right side as tight as I possibly can, because I need to get that locked in to the whole musculature of my back so that it all functions as one. Because I've noticed that as I go heavy in the front squat, I have a tendency to pitch forward because it starts to pull me forward, and I need to build some strength in my right lat. I'm also incorporating some more face pulls and lat pull downs to strengthen that side, but this is more of a squat and push day, so there won't be any video of that. Anyways, so here what I'm doing is I'm rotating my elbow pits up high, and I've been locking my fingers into the bar. And what I used to do was actually slide around the bar with my fingers loose, but now I'm actually allowing the bar to rotate as I grasp it tight in my hands. You'll see that my right side is a little bit lower. It's probably just the angle, and then I had to push it up a little bit higher to keep it from tipping forward. This is just sort of some skill and technique work that I'm doing, because I've found that I can really get some solid development doing front squats. I always kind of joke that this is the key to my abs, what little I've got, because I'm really contracting the hell out of my core here to keep upright. And I've had some discussions with my brother, and we've discovered that I can't really get super vertical with my shin angle and my torso, because those things have to accommodate for that bar, which is tipping me forward. And if I were to actually get super vertical, I would fall back with that bar dropping into my hips. So I'm just working on some warm-ups. These are sets of 10 with the empty bar. Once again, here I am really rotating that, externally rotating that right knee and squeezing my right glute medius. Now I'll grip the bar super tight with my 3 fingers, which is usually where I find myself most comfortable in the front rack position. I'll rotate my elbow pits up, and then I'm actually keeping my shoulder blades squeezed back really tight, really accentuating that focus on the right lat. And I'm also stepping in with as minimal movement as possible, reducing the variability as much as possible. And I'll push my elbows up as high as I possibly can, which is kind of uncomfortable because that bar is digging into my neck. This isn't really a nice bar. This is just an old bar that we've had, that I've been using. It serves its purpose for lifting. It's not the most amazing thing. We're not doing anything competitively. But I'm just working on making sure to push my right knee out, really pushing that out and squeezing that glute med, really pushing myself towards the back and right side of my body to squeeze my right lat so that I can stay upright. If you'll notice, my elbow starts to tip downwards, and that's just probably some tightness in my lats as well, which I need to work on. So it's kind of a mix, really. I've got to strengthen my lats, but at the same time, I've got to loosen them up. So it's a pretty tough blend there. Now I'm going to load up a few plates onto the bar. The reason why I'm working the front squat as well is because this is one of my weaker lifts, and I've set some crazy goal for myself, which is triple body weight at 510 pounds. I'm currently kind of moving up and down between 170 and 172 or 173 pounds, so I think triple body weight is about 510. So I'd like to hit a 510 front squat for maybe a single. A triple or for 5 would be awesome. But since going and seeing Omar, Mike, and Mark, I think I'm going to have to back off from that and just maybe at least aspire for a 510 back squat, because about the week prior to this, Omar, before he went to super training, PR'd on a back squat at 500, and that guy is 180 pounds. So me at 172 pounds, I think it's a bit insane without putting on a ton of mass to be able to do 100 and or at least do 510 for a body weight of 172 pounds. If there's somebody out there that can tell me or show me somebody who is 5'9" or almost 5'10", who can front squat triple body weight of 510 pounds at about 170 pounds, that would be awesome. If you could show me that, that would be of a lot of immense help, and that would kind of steer me in the direction of where I need to go to actually accomplish that. But that's currently been my goal. Actually, that's kind of been my goal for the last year and a half. It used to be double body weight, but now I've since changed it up to something a lot more ambitious, because hell, why not? YOLO. Anyways, I'm here still doing a few more sets with 135 on the bar. There's kind of no real rep scheme to this. I'm just kind of feeling this out. If you'll notice, this kind of breaks. I think I did 10 for the first one because I was feeling really good going into it, and then I kind of realized that may have been too much, and I scale it back. I'm just kind of doing this intuitively, just looking for a new thing to PR on every time I go in and lift. It's not always going to be the biggest lifts or the biggest number of repetitions necessarily. I'm just trying to find something to PR in. And for this particular day, I actually do pause squats at 200 pounds, which was brand new to me and pretty intense. So here I am just plugging away at some front squats, and I'm feeling kind of gassed at this point. I've the extra volume. I've gone from working out twice a week to about 5 or 6 times per week, including a workout in the park that I do for free. Well, it's donation based for everybody, so that's been tanking me as well. Just setting that up and putting it together, organizing it, and then tearing it back down to go home and do the live out my life. So that's been a bit of an ass kicker. So going back in, doing some squats. Once again, if you guys know of somebody who is 5'9" or 5'10", 175 pounds, and can front squat 510 pounds, which is about triple body weight, please, 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 please let me know, because that would be awesome. And that would drastically help me to sort of look into what it is that they do with their training to be able to do that, because that is kind of my goal. Right now, my only goal is to increase as much neural efficiency as I can, controlling my muscles, tightening. Again, I'm just getting as much external rotation on my right side, pushing that right knee out, squeezing my right gluteus medius, squeezing my right lat back in, and really integrating that with the rest of my back, making sure to keep my elbows high. This is about as far as they'll go without some intense mobility work and stretching to really get them in there. So this is actually starting to gas me. I'm not paying attention too much to the rest in between sets. So this is starting to, it's a little bit of an ass kicker. Throwing on, I believe this is an extra 20 pounds. So this brings us from 135 to 155 on the bar. And, well, this is just going to be that much more exhausting for me, because it's been working out way too much and I'm not used to this load. But I do it for the likes. I do it for the fans. I'm trying to get more awesomer as much as possible, just to prove to myself that I can. It's really intense, and between this and all the video stuff that I put together for my Primal Being and Mobility Moment, it's a lot of freaking work, and it's a lot of mental work involved. So my CNS is taxed to the gills, and it's pretty freaking intense doing all of this. But once again, it's just this is part of the way we communicate nowadays. Is the beauty of training like this and being able to share this with people is that we can have a conversation or a discussion over the ether, like through the air. We don't have to be in the same room necessarily. We can have a conversation. And I was actually a little reluctant about putting this out there, because I'm exposing myself and my weaknesses, and I don't want to damage my ego, but to hell with it. So now I'm actually doing some pause squats with 155 on the bar, and this gets really tricky. I think it was may have been 5 reps for this first set of pause squats and 155 pounds, which is pretty pathetic, because body weight for me is about 170. So that makes me sad. Okay, I think that may have been 3. I'm gonna throw on, God, it's hard to tell. I think this is another 10 pounds, so that's 2.5 kilos on either side, which is a total of 10 pounds added onto there. So that's one. I suck at bar math. 155 plus 10, 165. See, I think I screwed myself, because I was super brainy, really into textbooks and stuff when I was younger. And at some point I decided, you know what, dumb people kind of have more fun. So I reverted to being kind of just goofy and dumb through middle school, and I was kind of one of those kids who was really smart, got along well with the teachers, but just sort of just wavered in the back and talked shit. I wasn't really much of a troublemaker, but I was just kind of the smart ass in the back of the room through most of high school. Ended up doing this, which is lifting weights because it's more fun. That sounds really depressing, but truthfully, the thing about weight training is that it really teaches you to develop your strength, and it's, in a way, it's kind of instant gratification because you get to see your numbers change. You get to see progress really quickly, and you can find different ways to build your skills. One of the things that I really pride myself on is the ability to really just get in there and really focus in and be mindful about what I'm doing, which is controlling my muscles, controlling where my arms are, controlling where my legs are, and that's very gratifying because I'm really deep inside my body. So doing something like a pause squat like that really demands a lot of focus and attention, and the moment that you let your consciousness slip, your awareness slip, I feel that a lot of people will discover they end up hurting themselves. And I grew up with a little bit of adversity. For those of you that know my story, it's a pretty intense childhood. No, nothing crazy. Let's just say I was raised in a conventional, traditional household, so you can extrapolate the information you need from that. But I've had to basically learn to push through adversity in a very unique way and cultivate focus, drive, and motivation in spite of my circumstances. So weight training has been the place that I can shift that untapped energy, which I could have used for more violent, probably more criminal forms of expression, but instead I chose this, which is a way of developing skill and strength, and actually a great way to convey the same message to people in terms of building their own strength and discovering their own power. So here I am. I put up an extra 50 pounds on the bar this time, so I'm now at 185 pounds on the bar. Still working on those pause squats. Definitely getting my ass kicked at this point. So I really have to focus. And if you'll notice, I'm taking my time more now with my form, making sure that everything is nice and tight and in the right place. I'm squeezing the hell out of that bar. And as crappy as my history was with the military, I do credit them for further screwing up my brain and sort of tapping into that intensity and aggressive focus. So now, even under pressure like this, I'm pretty solid at sort of keeping myself together. I realized that over time I'm kind of a klutz, and so as a klutz I've had to really pay attention to my environment, and it's taught me to just kind of fumble my way through the world and be okay with the bumps and bruises that come along the way without flinching and crying and wincing every single time. So doing weight training, you kind of get a lot of scrapes and bumps and bruises, and actually this particular day when I was setting up the workout area, I got a few cuts and blood blisters on my hands moving some gym equipment, some older gym equipment. So that's definitely a test of your will. So here I am, I'm about to toss up, I think these are 2.5s, so it brings us to 185, 190, oh no, wait, so I picked up the 2.5s, I had the 2.5s, and then I threw on the 5, so that's 25 plus 10. Do it with me, guys, do the math, because I'm really terrible at this. So 185 plus 2 5s, which is 10, so that's 195. Plus 2 2.5s, which brings it to 200. And this is actually bringing us really close to the end of this video. I'm going to be doing my final sets of pause squats at 200 pounds, which is going to be the most difficult that I've done in the day, but they do wonders for my butt actually. My girlfriend commented, I think a day or so later, that my butt was kind of getting bigger, and that's because of this funky thing that I've been doing, which is kicking my toes out and really squeezing my glute med, and so it's been really developing my glute med a lot more. Another thing that I have to do, and the reason why I have to focus on that so much, is because I've been getting a lot of clicking and popping in my hips, and I've noticed that if I am conscious of those movements and I am fully conscious and engaged through the movement and under control, I don't get the clicking and popping because I am keeping my musculature and my bones all aligned in the right spots, and I can generally be conscious of that, which is really hard under pressure like this. I've got 200 pounds of pressure on my chest. It's scratching up my collarbone, it's scratching up my elbow, but here I am. That wasn't quite 3 seconds, that was more like 2 seconds. But I'm going to chalk that up to me being just torn down and exhausted. So that was set 1, rep 1 of the pause squats at 200 pounds. I'm going to switch it over to a front angle so you can see what's going on here. So like if you notice, I really bias that right leg and squeeze the hell out of it. Squeeze that right glute medius. Get tight. I'm getting tight on the bar. I'm finding my spacing on the bar, gripping the fuck out of that bar, rotating my elbow pits out. And as I'm doing this, rocking my head back, I'm also squeezing my my lats and my back towards the right a lot. And see, I'm still doing it. I'm really biasing that right side so that I can keep tight on that side, because I've just it's been pretty weak. Because I guess, based on my discussions with my brother, I've been putting a lot of focus and putting a lot of weight on my left side. If you'll notice, my left quad is massive compared to my right. Here we go with another pause squat. I believe this is definitely going to be for 3 seconds. And at this point, if you notice, it starts to pitch on the right side, starts to kind of come down because this is really kicking my ass. So here we go, going down, and 1, 2, 3. Maybe I was counting too slow. I was probably counting a lot faster in my head at the bottom there because it was pretty intense. I get scared of dropping it. So this is the last set of pause squats. Thank you very much, guys. If you're still here, if you're stuck around, thanks a lot.
I've always liked the single prong belt. It's just a little easier to kind of manage. And a good belt to start out with.
If you guys like the video, go ahead and please give me a thumbs up. So that'll give me an idea of whether or not I should keep doing these ridiculous 30-minute long videos for you guys to watch. Otherwise, I'll just keep it to myself and send it to a coach who can take a look at my form and cry in a corner or something. But if you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions that you would like to throw my way, please go ahead and drop them down below in the comments section. I do offer personal training, nutritional consulting, and just lifestyle advice, and maybe even a shoulder to cry on if you need that. So hit me up at marc@myprimalbeing.com or facebook.com/myprimalbeing. And as always, if you like this stuff, go ahead and subscribe, and you can keep up to date with it. You know, this is Mark with My Primal Being. As always, have fun, be safe, and peace out.